Alright, let us begin yet again. We're back. Sorry I missed the Monday stream. Usually stream on Mondays, but life kind of got in the way. Just didn't quite work out for my schedule the way I would like it to, so I just kind of pushed it to today. More convenient for me. So we're running back. Squawks and Taxes after our 5-0 on Friday. Unfortunately, we didn't make the deck list dump, sadly enough. Some other boring, normal Death and Taxes list made it. So, alas, we're trying again to get the Squadron Hawk published. I made a couple changes to the deck list. I'm not sure if they're all right. Maybe I only want like one Gideon and play something else here. So I changed. There was a Tormod's Crypt here and 2 Cataclysms originally. After the success of Daryl Ayers in the Legacy playoff, he won the whole thing with the normal Death and Taxes list, playing Gideons. After a little bit of talking to Phil about the strategy and sort of tackling the Oko decks, whether it's Miracles or like the 5-color messes, willing to try it out. I am a big Cataclysm stan. Have not been a big fan of Gideon for a long time, but I'm willing to try things that are successful and have well-reasoned concepts behind them. So I kind of want to try with the Gideons, see how they feel. I also like a little bit more with Force of Virtus in the deck, because the Knights actually brawl with Elk. Do you know what day it is? It's Tuesday, I believe. And then also I put a Palace Jailer in the sideboard because I think I really want a Palace Jailer in the 75. Our final boss on Friday really showed the power of Palace Jailer in the mirror and how horribly backbreaking it was to not have one in your deck. So it might just be safe to put one in the sideboard. Maybe I can eventually make room in the main for it if I swap some things around, but I think the first thing I want in the main is a second Recruiter of the Guard, which is not currently there. So I'd have to like do some more editing of cards in the deck, like shape like a Force, shape a Crusader or something. I don't know. But for now, we're going to try out this. This might be like too many cards for the grindy matchups, but I don't know. And we did cut down a Graveyard Hate card. Daryl was playing 3 Graveyard Hate cards, like 2 Recipes and a Surgical Extraction. I guess he was just completely having the opposite feeling of what I was having playing through things online. I just kept seeing a ton of Graveyard decks when I was playing. The Hogak deck getting really big, and just a bunch of people playing like Dredge and Reanimator stuff. And Reanimator is kind of a mainstay, as you'll always see it in leagues, but it doesn't show up in like challenges or playoffs that often. But I don't know. I thought Dredge and Hogak were gonna get bigger, but the results didn't seem to indicate that at all. So maybe you don't need. Excuse me. Maybe you don't need that much Graveyard Hate, but I do think Squawks' worst matchups are the combo decks, so if there are combo decks on your radar, definitely keep that in mind. It's up all the time. But anyway, let's jam. What the fuck is this? This is an eyesore. Hey, this is every preliminary for the whole week and a little bit further than that? Nice. How do I get to the Legacy Leagues? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spaces down. Sweet. Alright, cool. Thanks. These preliminaries fucking suck for the Midwest. If I want to play Legacy preliminaries, like, exactly the Thursday ones work. Like, there's one that's going on in 13 minutes. These things are 5 rounds. It starts at 9 p.m. in the Midwest. It starts at 10 p.m. in the East Coast. There's some of them that start at 2 a.m., I think, in the Midwest, on, like, Mondays or something. There's one that starts Thursdays at 5 p.m., which I might be able to play in some of them, and then, like, Fridays at 7 a.m. Just, like, all the preliminaries are just, like, the fucking worst times if you want to play in any Legacy prelims on, like, the... You get, like, one if you're on the East Coast, because you have, like, Thursday at, like, 5 or 6 p.m., and then if you're on the West Coast, I guess you get the one today at, like, 7 or 8 p.m. But even, like, 8 p.m. sucks, because it's 5 rounds. Like, even if it's 7 p.m., like, you're going until, like, midnight. Be Pioneer now. If I want to grind fucking qualifying points, I feel like I need to find a better slotted preliminary event to start playing it. But anyway, enough complaining about the new fucking garbage system of qualifying for things. Let's just play some leagues. Because the prelims have to be timed rounds, right? Because you can't just, like, it's not just, like, a big league. If I could just rattle off 5 rounds, then I could just do it at 9. Like, that's pretty reasonable to do with it, but, like, there's no way that they can organize an event like that. Like, they'd have to be time rounds, like, in challenges and stuff, as far as I know. Oof. This hand is almost there. This batter score rule sucks, but we have, like, Plow, Mystic, Prelate. It's okay. Hands with Batterskull suck, but hands with Batterskull and a Stoneforge Mystic means they suck less. Especially because it means that sometimes they don't kill your Stoneforge Mystic because you don't tutor it up, so they're not scared of it. Playing a good old Astrolabe matchup. Verdant Catacombs, so I guess it's like the 5-color pile rather than like Miracles. Alright. Drew another Stoneforge, that's not bad. Hopefully, as long as you don't draw another equipment or like another Stoneforge. Let's slam the first one. Go get sort of Fire and Ice probably. I don't even know what you're supposed to put Prelate on in, like, the 5-color matchup. I guess it's basically 4-color, because they play, what, Pyroblasts, they play Blasts in the sideboard and, like, a Singleton Volcanic Island, so for all intents and purposes, against Death and Taxes, it's a 4-color control deck. Fatal push the Stoneforge. Oh, alright, cool. Gonna elk me? That would suck. We can't really deal with that very well. I suppose we could, like, get in Force of Virtue, and then our elks brawl with their elks, which is pretty nice. Like, if they just played Oko plus on my Stoneforge to elk it, we could flash in Force of Virtue and attack the Oko down to 1. And then our 4/4s beat their 3/3s. What do I pitch to the Force? Because I kind of don't want to pitch the Plow, because you'd want to hit Elk, but I don't want to pitch the Stoneforge either. Probably have to pitch the Plow. Oh dear, that's horrifying. Well, at least we get a Batterskull, which is pretty good. I think we're just gonna go land go. Ooh, a Hawk is also good. Yeah, land go. Plan on putting in this Batterskull. Main deck Bitter Blossom is certainly obnoxious. Hard card to punch through. Just makes blockers for so long. Sultai Fairies. Somehow, I doubt it. I would be shocked, is maybe the word. Ooh, are these the new fairies from the whatever the secret layers? Whoa! I don't know what's going on now. I don't think I'm supposed to plow this Noble Hierarch. Noble Hierarch leads me to believe that there are more plowable things to hit in the future. Gonna, like, decay the germ here or something. Trophy my Batterskull. They wouldn't trophy the Batterskull. Oh, they would trophy the... I guess, yeah, they would trophy the Battery Spell because they don't want me to tap with 3 mana. That tracks. We can Force of Virtue, save our Germ. It's, like, probably worth, right? I mean, I don't know what I'm doing with a 1/1 Germ, but it's, like, kind of free, too. We could just pitch this other Stoneforge Mystic since we have 2 equipment, but we kind of want Jite to combat Bitter Blossom. Could push the Plow because Plow doesn't seem very good against what our opponent's doing. Kind of into just saving my Germ token. Means if we draw 4th lands too, we can suit up the Germ and like pressure them to actually block. Oh no, we're drawing the 4th land because we're getting a land here. Nice. Even better. Don't know if we'll take that line, but it's an option. Might just attack for 1. Maybe not attack at all. Kind of want to get these Squadron... I guess Squadron Hawks really doesn't land... Squadron Hawk lines up okay into Bitter Blossom, actually, because our Squadron Hawks are 2/2s. Could also play Prelate on something. I don't even know what we'd put Prelate on. 2, 3... Like, 1 through 4 are all reasonable options. I guess 4 not as much. Jay's not super obnoxious here. Only moderately so. So I'm kind of into just Squadron Hawk and put in Sword here. Question is, do we attack? Do we trade Rogue for Germ? Probably. I'm probably into that. Especially because it means that 2 Fair Rogues can't block a Squadron Hawk next turn. I think I'm attacking like that, and then casting Squadron Hawk. Yeah. Janky Who, thanks for the follow. I appreciate the support. Let's draw all of our Squadron Hawks. And now we have, yeah, pressuring their life total seems like something we kind of have to put a huge emphasis on doing. The fact that the Fairy Rogues like block us every turn is kind of annoying, but it means that if they keep like chumping with fairies, they can't keep up with all the Squadron Hawks, right? It's like a Leo. Oko, sure. Oko doesn't do anything yet. But it's a little hard to get to in this board state. Like Elk and Astrolabe? I don't even know what they would do here. So they're definitely going to Elk my Sword of Fire and Ice, like the following turn. They're Elking an Astrolabe, sure. Makes some sense. It means our Stoneforge can't attack. Probably means we'll put the sword on the... Wow. Getting aggressive. Seems unnecessary. I mean, I'll take it. I feel like if they just, like, play Protect the Oko, they're pretty well off in terms of beating me. Crusader's a good draw. Crusader attacks through all their shit. So whatever I attack with is just going to get chump blocked. So I'm kind of into not equipping the sword here and playing Crusader plus Hawk. They're going to Elk my sword, but then we'll have enough stuff. We'll have 2 Hawks and a Crusader in play, which is enough to, like, attack down the Oko if they Elk the sword or something. If we spend 2 mana equipping and attacking, they're just going to, like... We equip the Squadron Hawk, obviously they're going to block here. If we equip the Stoneforge, they'll just block here when we attack with both. So, like, we could equip the sword to the Stoneforge, attack the Oko with both, and, like, clear both their things. But I think getting the Squadron Hawk in play is more important, because Noble Hierarch doesn't do a lot right now. I'd also, like, try to get Prelate. No, getting Prelate down first is bad, because this Oko doesn't help us there. I guess the Crusader Act by itself actually kills the Oko. I wasn't considering the force. Like, we're just gonna send these two things at the Oko here anyway. Wow. Just let the Oko go to 1. Do they like, have a second Oko or something? Ambitious. Yeah, the big part of Crusader right now is its ability to actually try to pressure Okos. No shuffle. I'm starting to wonder if my opponent is on 4-color or just bug. Just based on the lands we've seen. We've seen 2 Misties and 2 Verdants. Specifically, like, none of these fetches find, like, a basic plains. The 4-color decks with Plow played basic plains, right? Did they? I honestly don't actually know. Opponent's dead of Wonder, that'd be bad. That'd be bad news. Certainly. A lot of these decks don't really have, like, big sweepers anymore. It's just, like, Plague Engineer and stuff. Like, we're seeing all, like... I guess the splash was white, right? You played, like, exactly Teferi and Plow. Like, they were base bug. So, basic plains doesn't necessarily make sense. 2 Bitter Blossoms? Jeez. You got Elk with Sword of Fire and Ice, or you're just fucking dead. Even if you don't Elk the Fire and Ice, you might just die. Wait. Aren't you just... You have 1 mana up. Oh, no, they have 2. They have this Noble Hierarch. Okay. Sneaky. Well, I'm going to start by casting Thalia here. Because if they have an answer for the Sword of Fire and Ice, then they have to cast it in response. And if they don't, then they just fucking die. So it seems not unreasonable to start with Thalia here. And then we can decide what to do after that. Yeah. Like, they're still dead in 2 turns to this Crusader. So... I guess technically not, because they could, like, make a food token with Oko. Could gain life. Yeah, here's the Abrupt Decay on the sword. Sure. So what's the best way to go about winning this game? I think it's attack their face with Mirror Crusader and send both the Hawks at the Oko. Might just be send everything at their face, though. Or send all the flyers at their face. Find Jite. I don't think this game is going to take long enough to get to Jite, so I think I want to either play Hawk for more things to attack in the air, or play Sanctum Prelate to try to turn off some number of outs. Like, put Prelate on 1 to stop cantrips or something. Like, what can they do to beat Crusader, though? Like, Toxic Deluge? Do I put Prelate on 3? I guess Prelate doesn't actually turn off any outs, because they can just always Elk it if they draw the out. But it depends on if they keep the Oko around, if we try to attack it. So, I think this Crusader definitely has to go at their face, because we just have to end this game. They do have these Bitter Blossoms play, so they are actually dead. Or, no, the food gains 3 life. No, they would be dead. Because I attack them down to 6, they'd go down to 4 here, they could gain up to 7, but I attack them down to 6 again, and then they die to the Bitter Blossoms. Yeah, they're going to die to the Bitter Blossoms. So I think Crusader at their face, and then the Hawks at Oko is the best plan. I think the opposite might actually be... no, I don't like that. If they let Oko die... No, they're keeping the Oko alive, sure. They're at 6, they're going to 4 here. So if we put Prelate on 3 and they draw, like, the Toxic Deluge or whatever, if they have one, then then they die to the Oko, right? Or they'll die to the Bitter Blossoms because they'll be at 4 if they have like exactly Deluge. They'd have to, if my Prelate is on 3, they have to Elk the Prelate, which means they can't gain life, and then they just die because they're 1 at post Deluge. So I guess Prelate on 3 here is okay because I don't think they can do a lot to beat it. I'm pretty sure the actual only card we can die to here is like a sweeper of some sort. We're at 16. We're not going to die by like Elk beats. And they don't. We could have put it on 1 if we did suspect that they had like white sources. If we had any inclination that they were on like plows. I think 1's probably the better choice because it also turns off cantrips for the sweeper or something. I don't know. I really feel like, especially like double Bitter Blossom and stuff, they really just feel like a solid bug deck. Imagine playing Bitter Blossom in 2019. Yeah, those Bitter Blossoms did not look great. It helped that my creatures with Force of Virtue could actually like attack into 1/1s a lot easier. Like, Squadron doesn't line up especially well against Bitter Blossom if you don't have Force of Virtue in play. Alright. I think Rest in Peace has long since passed its due date on being boardable against bug decks. Don't really know if my opponent has, like, anything that really Rest in Peace interacts with. Prelate and Needle are certainly maybes. Needle, I think, a little bit more than Prelate. Prelate's weird. I'm not a huge fan of Prelate against bug decks because, like we kind of saw in that game, you really have to do a lot of guesswork on what number you want to name with your Sanctum Prelate. Like, they have a lot of 1s, 2s, and now, like, more relevant 3s that you kind of want to name at any juncture. And, like, there are, whatever you don't name, like, there are a bunch of spells at those mana costs that also kill your Sanctum Prelate. Sanctum Prelate does look a little bit worse, certainly. Yeah, I guess Plow looks really bad against, like, Bitter Blossoms and stuff. You can probably afford to just go down all the Plows. Really kind of hate Palace Jailer against Bitter Blossom specifically, but it's probably really effective in, like, the games that they don't have Bitter Blossom. Just, like, a very good grindy tool. It's also kind of embarrassing against Oko, though, because Hasty Elks. I also kind of want to shave down on X1s because of Plague Engineer, but we have Force of Virtue, so it's not as much of a big deal. But I could see this. This doesn't look unreasonable. Possibility that I want the Pithing Needle, just because Oko is so annoying. And even if I can just like hold it off a little bit, man, we're going to get destroyed by my opponent's on-curve Plague Engineer. I'm never not going to keep this, but I'm just going to be sad because my opponent's going to cast a turn 3 Plague Engineer and ruin my day. Like a big bully. Oh yeah, for other deck was just like Noble Hierarchs. Kind of just like forgot that card was in their deck. Maybe this... I don't even know what this means. Does this mean I want Plows? They also just had 2 Bitter Blossoms. Like, what are they casting on turn 3 here? Are they a True Name deck? Or they have to have some of Relievables, I imagine, at least, but it's not a huge draw to playing Source of Plowshare still. We board in, like, Council's Judgments and stuff. Well, at least if they turn 2 Plague Engineer, maybe we don't have to play these Thalias. This is not what I expected. How many mana dorks do they have? Wow, that feels a little bit aggressive. If only I had some way to punish this by casting this Palace Jailer ahead of time, but I'm not going to use this mana at all unless we draw a 3-drop. Yeah, well, that's okay. We can play Thalia and leave a Crocus at least. Gilded Goose seems a little wild. up shit creek, but it's just kind of our life. Yeah, Leovold, that's workable. Wow, we can't even jailer this Leovold because the Goose can attack with Exalted. Man, that's the pits. That is a real bummer. Well, we drew Mirroring Crusader. It definitely makes that less of a bummer now. I will happily cast a Mirroring Crusader here, but that's just really funny that this jailer just doesn't do shit. Like, we could jailer the Goose. That's so embarrassingly bad. And they have a 4 for label attacking us too. Opinions on the champion just being played in Arena? Go for it. If you're for, I mean, it sucks that they like killed Limited, I guess. I'm not a big Limited player, but I know a lot of people, especially at super high levels, are big fans of Limited. I also have no idea like why Arena just didn't fucking implement Limited, like the ability to do normal human pods, so you didn't have to kill Limited. But if you can do events online like that, sure, go for it. Yeah, I think people are definitely overreacting about like, oh, it's the death of paper magic, etc., etc. Ooh, force will only gotta lose their food for that at least. And go down to 1 card in hand. Force, bitching force. Sure. You got it, bud. Oh, look at that. Stoneforge Mystic and stuff. We still have gas. Our opponent is already running on empty because they played 2 Mana Dorks. One of them was like a Lotus Petal. A Lotus Petal that, granted, is very obnoxious right here because it's a Lotus Petal that has flying and can attack for 1 because of the fucking Hierarch, but... Hey, it could be worse. The Gilded Goose could have been like a scary magic card. Instead it's like kind of annoying. What's up, Basic Swamps? Yeah, you can attack me 4. We're not bouncing that. Wasteland. Yeah, we're definitely not. If we bounce it now, they just can just recast it, so it's whatever. Yeah, geese are fucked up. They'll mess you right up. You XJ Redeemer. Yes, I am XJ Redeemed. I changed my name to XJ Trader because I played a bunch of Bomberman at some point, but then they banned Ren in 6 and I changed it to XJ Redeemed. Yeah, they only have 1 card in hand. So like, there's a world where we can just Stoneforge up a Batterskull or something, get out of this mess. Ooh, Factory. It's not bad. We can play 2 Stoneforge Mystics now. We'll attack for 2, Stoneforge, get Batterskull plus Jite, I guess? Jite sets it up, I guess, yeah, Sword just lines up badly against Leovold, but our plan is to eventually kill this Leovold, right? Definitely want Batterskull. Probably want... Sword is so bad against Leovold. GT is also bad against Leovold because you'd have to ping a Goose twice. It's also just like worse in general. I think the Sword is a better plan. It also lets us attack through a Leovold if they hold it back to block at least. We don't have to give them any triggers. It could just be like pro blue. I guess GTA also kind of does that if you put it on like a Thalia or something, but... Beat the Goose to death with the GTA. It's kind of what we want to do. We could also just hit it with the Sword and they draw 1 less card. But we don't draw anything, but... Had the worst run of D&T today. Yeah, definitely happens sometimes. Sometimes you just get a really rough go of it on a day. Yeah, like if they're spending their turn making a food so they can like cast a 3-mana spell through the Thalia here, or even better, Brainstorm, come on, whiff. They never whiff. Whenever you cast a Brainstorm and you're not ready to hit your land drop, you always find it, unless you're me. I can literally never hit that land drop. Why don't play blue decks? Statistically impossible for me to draw fetch land with my Brainstorms. Dang, never lucky. Can't have the goose steal your sword. I mean, yeah, the Oko could steal it for the goose, I guess. The goose is content with its own belongings, though. So they have 3 mana up here. This is fine. Like, they have to kill 2 Stone Forges to beat my Battle Skull. They might have an Assassin's Trophy. They already burned one, though. They could just have a Decay for my token or something. Got another spell here? No. Alright, yeah, they're holding something up. Third Stoneforge. You steal a Temple Bella Commander while they have the Goose out. Too bad you can't make Goose your commander and make like a deck themed around stealing things. That would be awesome. I think we're just going to attack with Thalia Sig Go. We can put in the sword down the Battle Skull. We don't really have anything to cast here. We gotta animate the factory and hit them, but I think that's a worse plan than just putting in more equipment and just kind of really just putting the pressure on things that my opponent can do here. Yeah, the problem with Goose Commander is that even if you could make Gilded Goose your commander, it's mono green. All the steel effects are like blue-red. Yeah, we're just gonna say go here. Force my opponent to deal with a bunch of equipment on their end step. Yeah, they can make a bunch of food, sure. They can't attack with the Leovold unless they have removal for my Germ. If they have removal for the Germ. What is this? Sylvanite. Well, that's gonna be bad. Especially in tandem with the food. But yeah, they can't attack here anymore. Yep. And we get to punch them real hard with sword. Yeah, we did them real hard this turn. I mean, they get to make some blocks, but like we can like put the sword on the Thalia and attack with Germ and Thalia or something. Prelate, ooh. What's up, Tetraverse? Yeah, I think sword on Thalia, attack with both, and just force them to make some shitty blocks is fine. They have no cards in hand, so we just want to deal as much damage as we can into this oncoming Sylvan Library. Oh, I guess we can't Prelate if we do that play, because we're equipping. But equipping is definitely the right play. So, I guess we'll just play the Stoneforge, go get Jite. Wouldn't be surprised to see just like double chump block with the Mana Dorks. Oh, single chump block. I guess the Gilded Goose also gains them more life in the long term, but killing the Hierarch is nice. It means that we can finally cast this Palace Jailer, because this Goose can't steal our Monarchy. Yeah, they make another food, sure. Tweeted at Gavin about Team Goose Commander. Amazing. Would be really funny to make Untitled Goose Game Commander deck. Yeah. They're at a low enough life total that, like, and also they're just working with awkward amounts of mana that they can't just afford to just draw cards with it, so it provides them card filtering, not just, like, card advantage, because they found it so late. So even though this pile of food tokens goes well with the Sylvan Library, they might just be a little bit too under the gun to like adequately deal with it. I am a little scared to play this Palace Jailer, but we have a pretty commanding board state, so like even if they manage to steal it away from me, like steal the Monarchy away from me, we could probably get it back. think step 1 is just attack with German Thalia again. If they let the Thalia through, we don't get to draw the card, is the thing. So we could attempt to jailer the Leovold and then attack with the Thalia and the Germ, but I guess attacking like that is a little bit risky because the card in their hand might be a removal for the sword, and then we just run the Thalia into the Leovold. So I think I like jailering here, pre-combat. Force them to do something. It's a little awkward if they get like a second noble hierarch they can give me with the goose. But like I said, then I think we have so many creatures to play that we can just play like monarchy, like play the monarchy fight. Could attack with some number of Stoneforge Mystics here too, since all they have is this goose as a blocker. Maybe we attack with like 1. I don't want to attack with too many because I don't want them to like steal monarchy with like an Oko or something. Removal spell, Oko attack. Can we attack with 2? Is that too risky? Definitely want to push damage here though. I feel like Snapcaster Mage, Assassin's Trophy. Then I have 2 blockers, they untap. Maybe 1's enough. Yeah, 2 blockers back is probably fine. 3 maybe playing it a little bit on the safe side. What's this? Blow up my sword. Yep, there's green-black. Crop rotation for Caracas. That's kind of annoying. That's less annoying. Do they need double blue? Oh, they needed 3 snow-covered permanents to get Death Touch to like trigger the Germ. That is a much worse crop rotation. Wait, if they have a Caracas in their deck, I feel like that's still just a better play. I don't know. That seems pretty wild. Also, why are they playing Ice Fang when they're in Baleful Strix colors? Oh, so they want to take back Monarchy with their Flash Flyer, so they don't want to block. Yeah, but then they're just gonna like fucking die. Like, okay, yeah, you can take the Monarchy back, and then you have like 1 blocker versus my army. Sure. Ooh, second Ice Fang Quaddle. Flashed in at the declare blocker step, sure. Now you really have my Monarchy. Yeah, now you're at 3. You draw a card. That's a pretty good one. You can kill the Leovold, just crack with everything. Yeah, that was really anticlimactic. That was definitely not the best crop rotation I've seen in my life. Like they have to have 2 mana up at least, because we have so much damage on the crackback here. Just tag with 1, yeah. You get the Monarchy, you got me. Like they know both their cards. They know their card in hand as well as the top card of their deck. They have 2 cards in hand. Force of Virtue. Would have liked to have drawn that, like, I guess not last turn because I was tapped out, but this will be helpful. Unless we tap out to cast this Council's Judgment, in which case it's less helpful. We just attack with all what happens. If they have 2 removal spells and kill my 2 biggest things, then block, they go to 1. We get to Animate Factory, attack with everything. if they have 2 removal spells, they kill my 2 things, block, block, and take exact lethal. So they would need 2 removal spells and the ability to crack their food token. So, like, 2 fatal pushes, right? I guess would Snapcaster Mage do it? No, Snapcaster Mage is 2 removal spells, right? Snap, Trophy, tap out would be 3 blockers and kill this. So block, 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 still take 3 die. So Snapcaster doesn't do it. I'm pretty sure if I just Animate Factory attack with everything, they die. And if they somehow don't, we can still play Mother of Runes, then instead Flash and Force of Virtue, and just, like, crush them into the dirt more. So this seems like a pretty safe play. Still not enough mana. Oh, yeah, like, I'm trying to think that, yeah, they don't have enough mana to, like, also crack a food token, like, any of these lines. So I'm pretty sure if I just turn all my things sideways, they die. Yeah. It would have been nicer if we did attack that extra Stone Force. Was not playing her an Icefang Coatl. Because I didn't expect, like, a Flash Flyer to just, like, the number of blockers you have doesn't matter. If I knew Icefang was in their deck, I probably would have attacked with more Stone Forges, because that's just a card we can't play around in terms of protecting the Monarchy. But I think we should still be fine here. Can they win by just, like, block, block, gain 6? Guess we'll find out. No, not like this at all. Move to damage, kill you? Oh no, I have priority first. Yeah, they're gonna kill my Thalia. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, they actually go to 6 here. Right? So this is fine. Oh, no, they go to 6. They go to 1 here, but yeah. We also get Monarchy back. Crack the food. This happens. We get Monarchy. I still think I want to play the Mom because I think I want to flash in. This Force of Virtue. Also, the Mom means that just, like, well, I can sneak things, like, through this Leovold and stuff. Although they do have this food token. That means we do have lethal with the, like, the sword plus the Mom or something. I think it's probably better than playing the Thalia. I guess they only have 4 mana, though. It's tough. Like, Thalia is also a pretty good play here, I think. They have 1 card in hand. I think we'll play the Mom. It helps. I think it helps, like, try to attack for lethal next turn into, like, potential removal spells in hand. So let's play the Mom. Also helps if they, like, if I play Thalia and then they, like, trump deck a Plague Engineer or something. That could be rough. Like, if we untap with the Mom and the sword just gives us unblockable, and the Mom protects the 1 creature from, like, a removal spell in their hand. So that should be pretty reasonable for lethal. They're at 4 with 3 mana, essentially. Three mana doesn't equate very well to double removal spell, especially because we could cast the Thalia and still equip the sword, so we can cast the Thalia before we attack, or before we equip the sword to something. Or we could Animate Factory and equip the sword to, like, a Stoneforge Mystic and send more things, depending on how this turn breaks. Sure. Alright, cool, they died. We did it! A little bit complicated. But, Got through those turns. That crop rotation seemed like it was not great. Like, they didn't need Death Touch on those things, right? Like, I assume if they boarded in crop rotation, which I don't know if they should, it seems kind of bad, that they boarded in, like, the Caracas crop rotation package that you're supposed to board in against, like, depths. And if that's the case, then they could have just crop rotated for a Caracas and bounced the Thalia, right? And then abrupt decayed, like, the Germ token or something. Like, they didn't need Death Touch on those Quaddles. I don't know. Guess they might have needed them for future turns. Managed to deal with them pretty handedly, though. Seemed like a really weird build of the deck, though. Is Flash on Quaddle better than, like, the always Death Touch of Baleful Strix? I want to say no, but maybe the Death Touch is free because you play, like, so many basics and Astrolabe and stuff. Like, I understand that it's better in, like, decks that don't play black. Like, Miracle's obviously playing the Quaddle is, like, perfectly reasonable. But, like, the base bug decks playing Quaddle over Baleful Strix strikes me as, like, kind of odd. Flash is definitely not bad, certainly. Definitely an honest question more than a judgment of my opponent's deck. Fucking Batterskull. You're more likely to lose the Monarchy Districts or Quaddle. Yeah, that's not like the only conversation to be had, though. Like, Baleful Strix can block a turn 2, like a Delver of Secrets on turn 2. There are definitely other considerations than, like, exactly Death and Taxes. Kind of want to keep this hand anyway. This Batterskull sucks. I wish I could pitch it to Force of Virtue. Okay, yes, Quaddle could if you play your Astrolabe, or if you want to get very technical, it can still technically block and then die and not get any value. I think I'm still keeping this hand. Battle's really powerful. Yeah, definitely. Flash is definitely not to be understated. Flash on like a Death Touch blocker is very powerful. Like fucks up combat math real hard. Whereas Baleful Strix is a very known quantity when it's in play. Oh dear. We might be dead. Underground Seeker. So this is Hogak probably? Yeah, Bridge from Blue Bloodghast. I'm gonna cast my Aether Vial. I'm gonna be very sad. Go Aether Vial. See, that's what I thought. I thought that these graveyard decks were popping up explicitly as a response to the slow blue decks. But then Daryl Ayers goes and wins the playoffs with 3 graveyard hit cards. Like, was that just a lucky break, or is that like an honest call of the meta? Like, I was packing like 5 or 6, and then Daryl just shows up with 2 rested pieces and a surgical. Do I want to flash in? I probably don't want to flash in this Force of Virtue. Unless I see a Vengevine, I don't think I want to put in this Force of Virtue. Because I can't cast the Force of Virtue if I cast Dahlia next turn, which is a big deal. Therapy themselves, okay. But Thalia being a 3-2 and blocking Vengevines is a pretty big deal. So like I would pitch the Flicker Wisp to it if I see these 2 Vengevines going to the graveyard right now, like I literally am. All they have in hand is this Altar, though. Unfortunately, Altar is really fucking hard to deal with because we don't have any Revokers in our deck. They're targeting me. Resolves. I wonder if they name... What do they name? Stoneforge Mystic, probably? Pretty all-in on the Vengevine plan. They named Thalia. Oh, that sucks. Guess we're not playing the Force of Virtue. I guess Thalia kind of makes sense as a name. Because, like, they're on 2-land Altar exactly, so Thalia is actually pretty annoying here. Just be on the play easy. I mean, that's not unreasonable. Just win die rolls versus the graveyard decks. That's a terrible draw. Doesn't even pitch to Force of Virtue. Just beat them without graveyard. That seems a lot easier said than done. I'm supposed to cast this. Opponent knows my whole hand. We can just... I guess we actually can't F6 because my opponent could therapy me. And we probably force pitch Wisp, but then they take my Batter Skull. I did not see the daily D&T. Certainly possible to do, but I would not bank on it. It's definitely not plan A. Tag me for 2, you got it. Really need them to whiff for a while here. We need to like draw some Mana Denial or something. I'm probably just supposed to flicker the zombie action here, actually. That's not bad. Definitely supposed to flicker this zombie. So they can't like cast a Hogak or something. I can just sack it and mill 2, but I'm not doing anything else with this Wisp right now. Mill your cards. Yep. Milled a 3rd Vengevine and another Therapy. Those are scary cards. Hopefully they can't cast 2 creatures anytime soon. Cannot beat 3 Vengevines. Alright, well that's good for me. Doesn't do anything. Down for that. Let's put in our Mother of Runes. Take these vials up to 2 and 3. What do we really want on top deck here? I don't even know. Not really that. See the new test with 4 Veil new discard? Yeah, it was amazing. I loved it. It's slower and doesn't play discard spells anymore. It's much weaker to... maybe not much, but it's definitely weaker to permanent-based hate. For my 2 permanent-based hate decks that I play a lot of. I'm very appreciative of it. Am I supposed to check with the Mom here? They have 1 card in hand. They haven't cast it. It could be a 1-drop creature they're saving for Double Fine, or it could just be like something useless. Mom only soaks up 4 damage. I'm taking another 8. I'm going to 10. We do have a Plow here too, though. We could soak up 4, Plow 1, and then take 4. But it definitely accelerates the 7-turn clock to a 5-turn clock if I just start attacking with both. I'm not going to win this game if I'm not aggressive, I don't think. Sucks if they draw Gravecrawler, they can actually just go off, right? Because they can cast Gravecrawler, therapy it, get a zombie, and then cast the Gravecrawler. I think I'm attacking with both here. They have 2 altars, though. I wonder if I'm supposed to actually like pitch the Plow to the Force. Probably not, because we're like casting nothing. Oh, this is bad. They get to mill so many cards with this Bloodghast, too. targeting me. They know my hand is Force Batter Skull, so I'm gonna let this resolve. I don't think I just want to cast Force and get the Batter Skull taken. I don't think the Force is that important. Yeah, they named the Batter Skull anyway. I wonder why they even sacked it to the therapy instead of the altar. Like, we're not anywhere near casting this Batter Skull. I'm scared of, like, Stoneforge in hand, maybe? No. Yeah, I guess, yeah. Sure. Yeah, we can't really plow these zombies. Mail to Hogak, that's real bad. We're probably dead now. Because now they can just cast the Hogak. They can't cast it twice here. Maybe I was supposed to plow a zombie in response to the Bloodghast mill so they couldn't cast a Hogak. Altar of Dementia and like Hogaks and stuff are really weird cards to have to try to like play around. They had to exile some really awkward cards to do this though. But I think we're just gonna like fucking die anyway, so it doesn't matter. Let this happen. Second Hogak. Am I supposed to plow now? Is there a world that if they mill like second bridge from below, I just fucking die, right? If I plow now, do I save myself from anything? Not really. I guess potentially, yeah. They only get the one zombie. So they have to sack their Hogak to the altar here. And then that potentially saves me, especially if we draw like another removal spell for that zombie. We can like buy ourselves a little bit of time. I think I'm supposed to plow this. Yeah, so now we can just have 6. Opponent knows our whole hand. We got nothing. They milled second bridge. They have 3 Hogaks in there. They got another Bloodghast now. As soon as they hit a land drop, we die. Or make a second creature any other way, we die. So we really want to draw a removal spell for this zombie. Another Flicker Whisper or something. GTA is so close. But not quite. So now we need them to miss for a turn. Draw like their misses are like they have so little misses though. Like I said, like a land kills us because they have a Bloodghast. Any creature kills us. Like we need them to draw like third altar. Draw like a Vengevine maybe. Draw a bridge from below. Oh yeah, one altar is in the graveyard. Draw the 4th one. Yeah. I guess Hedron Crab does do it, because then they sack the Hedron Crab to the altar. And we have this GTA that's... It's certainly not nothing. Come on, pass a turn. Holy crap. They missed. We're still dead to a lot. I guess land still kills us, right? Because they could play the land, get back the Bloodghast, sacking it. Oh, it has to be fetch land to kill us. But at least it reduces the number of things we're stone dead to. I think I'm supposed to attack with this Mom here. I think I was actually supposed to attack with it last turn, too. Because they can't block. They lose their bridge from belows. Am I supposed to break the bridges instead of killing the zombie? No, there's no way. I can't beat a Hogak. And 2 Vengevines. Yeah, I can't beat that. I am? I don't know. I think I'm definitely supposed to attack here with both. I think you hold the counter, is that? And, yeah, if they draw Fetch Land, we're already dead. Is there a way... How do we ever beat Bridge? I feel like fade one more turn. Like, how do we ever beat them just casting a Hogak and 2 Vengevines, right? They don't have anything you can't respond to. Yeah, I don't think they do. Like, if they draw Fetch Land, we're already beefing it. Because they just Fetch Land, get the Bloodghast back, sack the Bloodghast, the altar, get the zombie, and then crack the Fetch Land, get the Bloodghast back again, cast the Hogak. So Fetch Land already kills us. Anything else goes on the stack, I believe. And if it's just a normal land, then like we respond to the Bloodghast trigger. I think I'm supposed to attack with both here regardless. So if they block here, that's amazing for me. Break all the bridges and kill the zombie. I'm supposed to attack like this last turn too. I kind of forgot about it. I'm going to leave this land in hand. Don't really think there's a punish. So we could potentially try to break bridge. Like, if they do draw the fetch land, then we just shatter all their bridges. I guess that's kind of a punish, right? If they draw a fetch land, then they can make 4 like they can make an extra 2 zombies with the Bloodghast. If I ping my mom and in response they fetch and get the Bloodghast back in, but then they miss a Bloodghast recursion. We're on Hogak, we're in Modern, so they ban something else. I mean, a lot of people agreed that like bridge was the problem. They obviously weren't right, but like I think it was like a not unreasonable decision for them to make. I think I'm passing. Ugh. Oh, they drew fetch land. That sucks. Alright, ping the mom. Oh wow, they just let it happen. Alright. I mean, they can just cast 2 Hogaks, get back 2 Vengevines. That might not be... I don't know. We're probably still super dead, but... They didn't cast the Hogak? What? They just wanted to mill 2 cards? Deal? Probably could have cast a Hogak and then sacked that Bloodghast, but I'll take it. Do it again. Dang, never lucky. So probably still just gonna fucking kill me. So there's no reason to ping anything here. We just hold. There's another bridge. I'm gonna cast a Vengevine, get back 2 Vengevines here. We only have 5-6 damage. Shit. Ugh, the worst. We only have 6. We can't do anything about any of this. I don't think there's anything we can draw to have lethal either. They might still have invested. I don't think so, though. They can definitely just set up to kill me next turn. for sure. So we like can't ping our thing here. With this stack in this graveyard in manageable ways. It certainly did escalate quickly. I told you fetch land just fucking murdered us. They didn't hit their last bridge. My only hope is that they just like mill their whole deck thinking they can mill me out, and then we ping our Wisp and then break their bridges. Alright, just mill yourself with the Hogak one more time. Don't worry about it. What could possibly go wrong? You could definitely just mill me out with the cards left in your graveyard. Oh, there's the other bridge. Alright, you got it. I can't really ping the Wisp until they actually, like, oh, they're milling me. Okay. Have they done the math? I have no idea. We can only ping the Wisp if they mill themselves down to 0. If we ping the Wisp and they don't, like, obviously they can just attack me to death. I think they might just be able to kill me here. With Hogak mills. Just targeting me, getting back 2 zombies, casting the Hogak. I think they have enough cards in the graveyard that they can just do that. I've only cast it like 5 times. And then they get a bunch of zombies to also target me with. Yeah, I think we are just dead. Because then obviously we don't have any creatures to try to attack with. But yeah, they're just milling me, and they didn't mill themselves for the last 6, which was like our only real shot. It was a nice combat step. Yeah. Oh no, I think they can just mill us out here. Like, they appear to be attempting to. I don't really care if they see my deck, though. Let them figure it out. To make sure they can... Even if they can't, though, like, we do just die, as long as they don't mill themselves. There's nothing we can draw that's lethal, unfortunately. But yeah, they definitely can. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's more than our deck, yeah. Alright. 3 Jace also played out. 2 of them went down on time. On time game 1. I did beat a Jace ult once in my life. That was pretty cool. Alright. Bring in these guys. Sanctum Prelate sucks. All those other cards suck. This is not a Squadron Hawk matchup. Not a Sanctum Prelate matchup. Well, not sort of Fire and Ice matchup. And then... all these cards seem pretty serviceable. These cards all look like they suck. Am I forced to bring in Council's Judgments to answer Alter? Because like I don't have good answers to it. Secret is so sad for this bridge. It got better once they started playing Vengevines at least. So now it actually hits Bloodghast and Vengevine. Alter is a really fucking backbreaking card. Like, sometimes you can finagle your way out of those awkward combat steps for a little bit, but... Alter just makes it so that, like, they're so much more consistent at murdering you. It's like, I wonder if I'm, like, kind of forced to bring in Council's Judgment, even though it's, like, a really bad card. Maybe I just have to, like, lean into my Graveyard Hate and the 1 Pithing Needle. Every time I play Priest for stretch, I just lose to Bridge anyway. I mean, I guess it can't happen. They just have like their explosive starts. They're usually pretty stone cold to bridge though. Or not bridge, stone cold to Containment Priest. But I'm more used to it in like Bomberman where you played on turn 1, and it's a lot harder to be explosive underneath that. And also you just have like a much quicker setup to kill you. Yeah, certainly better as decks that can also, even as like this deck, it's better with decks that can clean up against like some zombie tokens. Like if you just play like a Thalia and a Crusader or whatever, you can just like block everything. Yeah, exactly. Much harder for Miracles to clean up like 3 zombies unless you like find your sweeper. Awkwardly enough. Maybe we shave a land. Factory's not doing shit, right? But like, do I want these judgments? Like, I feel like I don't. It's so bad. Judgment's so bad against this deck. Maybe I have to because no revokers. These trap hands. It's got a lot of mana now, though. It's one of the ways you can try to steal games against this deck. Is that they're like pretty mana light, and we have like Mom, Thalia, Port Wasteland. It's like not unreasonable. The awkward thing is that this path is not a source of plowshares. But like, are we hard mulliganing to hate cards to try to beat this deck, or are we keeping like these shitty hands and like hoping that they work well enough? If I want to just like cast a Hedron Crab, we like path it, we like wasteland them and then path it in their upkeep. That's so bad. Yeah, this hand is just not winning is the issue. Yeah, I think I'm happy mulling to 6. I'm happy mulling to 5, I mean. I was mistaken in my sentence. I meant 5. I meant 5 cards in my hand. Opponent keeps 7. Alright, this hand's way better. I'm in. Goodbye, Priest. Not Priest. Goodbye, Force Wisp. Force. Wisp is actually okay with the Priest. I think this. Hopefully, our Contemporaries are probably living. It's hard for them to get it off the board. It's like Assassin's Trophies out of the sideboard. Tempted to ship the Vial and just play Containment Priest on turn 2 and like use the Wisp to kill a thing. Maybe that's our play. Let's go for it. Wisp is really good to try to clean up like an idiot with when you have Containment Priest in play. Careful study. If they show Bloodghast, we have to sorcery speed the Containment Priest. Yeah, because they can play fetch land and get the Bloodghast back through it. So we'll just cast the... Ooh, never mind. We're going to cast this Rest in Peace instead. Do I? Containment Priest attacks. Rest in Peace is just better. They have a bridge in there too. Yeah, let's Rest in Peace them. Just, they really have to answer this or they die. Containment Priest can show up later. And it's not like we're devoting 2 different things that die to like Force of Vigor, because the rest of our stuff is creature-based. So like if they have an Assassin's Trophy, then they have to Assassin's Trophy. Oh, Jesus, alright, deal. We'll just flash a Containment Priest here on end step. And also we have the Surgical Extraction. Alright, I assume they're going to trophy my Rip. Like, one reason to not play Rip is to like incentivize them to trophy like a Containment Priest or stuff instead. But the Rip is just like, if they had less graveyardy stuff in their graveyard, then maybe I wouldn't have done it. But hitting a Bloodghast and a bridge is pretty nice. You break the bad draws curse because your draws are on fire. Those are pretty good draws on our Multi-5 here, certainly. And we get a flash Containment Priest, and we have this Surgical. And if we untap, like, if they play like a dude, we can just flicker it. Playing Surgical? What do you mean? Oh, you're talking to Dark View. Never mind, don't worry. Don't mind me. Therapy targeting me. Alright, let's cast this Containment Priest. I'm not going to cast this Surgical. I'll let this resolve. They can name whatever they want. We'd kill the Hedron Crab. They like flash it back. We might surgical something like the Assassin's Trophies, maybe. Keep our priest in play. They name Batter Skull. It's a weird name. It's a really weird name. So assume they should sack the Hedron Crab, target me with Cabal Therapy again, intent on taking the surgical. Maybe I just let them take it, so they can't take my Thalia or my Wisp. Because if they don't sack, they just lose their Hedron Crab to the Wisp here, which they might not see that line out. Depends on how familiar they are with the decks. Nope, they are. I think I just let this resolve. I don't think surgicaling like a random, not super useful thing is that great for me. If I cast the surgical on like Assassin's Trophy, they get to like take more of my stuff. I think I just want to kill them. I think I just let this happen. They need a lot to assemble their engine still. And we get to harass their mana and their other things. Yeah, they named the surgical. We get to cast the Thalia, and if they have a creature, we can Flicker Wisp, kill it, stuff like that. Batter Skull is just such a book wild name, though. Like, why would you name the one of in the deck? So if they cast any idiot, we just kill it. If they don't do anything, we just attack them. Might be incentivized to just cast the Flicker Wisp anyway, just to hit them. These draws are not great. I'm only dealing them 4. This is a 4-turn clock, turns into a 2-turn clock. Yeah, I'm playing this Flicker Wisp out. It's also like, if we keep sitting on this Wisp and they find like a therapy, it doesn't do jack, so. No second trophy on the priest is good. I guess they can't trophy the priest, so they have 2 mana into the Thalia. Yeah, I think we just need to get as much pressure in play as possible. End their life. It's careful study. No. 2 mana spell. Altar, yeah, that tracks. That's probably actually pretty useful. Might be able to disrupt them if they go crazy with an altar or something. Hard for them to go that crazy with an altar, but we'll see what happens here. Bloodghast resolves. They sack it, they can't get it back, so this is fine. Like, they have 2 Bloodghast in the yard, but the Container Priest stops them. Yeah, sure. That does nothing. You can't trophy the Container Priest with the triggers on the stack because they only have 2 mana. And there's a Thalia in play. Yep. Stupid May templating. Yeah, it's the worst. Thank God, at least they printed Arclight Phoenix correctly. Didn't give it a May. Just like killed itself into Container Priest. Container Priest not technically Graveyard Hate. Hey, our recipes did help us there. We did kill it Bloodghast and Bridge from Blow with the rest in peace. In all fairness. Yeah, I think we're just running it back. Maybe we actually cut down these Force of Virtues. What did I cut instead? Protecting Pellet's fine, land's fine, sword's fine. I want like some number of Council's Judgments over Force of Virtues. God, this card sucks so bad. It's like kind of important to have answers for Altar. Yeah, hard mode badge. We drew 3 Graveyard Hate cards. We do surgical rip and continue to restore Mold of 5. That was about as easy mode as it could get. I'm not gonna give myself any accolades on that win. Definitely want all the creatures that are still left in here. Force Virtue just like helps us clock and kind of helps Thalia and some of the other creatures like profitably try to hold up walls. I think the biggest way to lose is like shit like Altar. So like maybe we don't want Force. Maybe we just do this. Force Virtue is like not very good. Again, sucks with or without a Council's Judgment as a force here. Easy mulligan. Opponent kept 7. The 1 of Force mocking me. We have a Needle, which is not nothing. Needle hits the thing, Altar, but yeah, this game sucks. We go down to 5 again. This is just our 7 with 2 less cards. I think 5 is about the lowest I'll go. Ding. The Stoneforge is more important than the Mom here. 2 plows a little bit of a liability. Yeah, let's do that. Plow seems kind of important here. If we have any chance of winning, we want to disrupt like early garbage if they just have like a Hedron Crab heavy hand or something. What do you just like snipe with a Blind Therapy here? They've seen 3 different graveyard hit cards. And we mulled a 5, so we probably have one in hand, right? Probably just name Rest in Peace, unless they have, like, Force in hand. And then you name, like, one of the others, Surgical or Priest. I guess let's find out. Please don't name Swords of Plowshares. That'd be a 6 soul raid. Show me what you got. Don't like the fact that maybe I should have bottomed a plow, because even if they miss on this therapy, it just means that our plows are in danger. As soon as they cast any creature, they can just sag the therapy, hit both the plows. Name Rest in Peace. Yeah, reasonable. So yeah, if they just like have a creature and they sag into the therapy, we just lose both these plows, which sucks. Like maybe we wanted to keep a Mom over a... Oh, nice. Got him good. We just need to draw lands now. Skilled Magician. They're gonna name Plow and be like, what the fuck, man? Cast Bloodghast. Sag into Therapy. Name Plow. Oh, that was a lot better. A lot better play. They're milling me. That seemed like they fucked up that target. Nice. Oh no, my 3 snow-covered plains! I needed those! I needed those land drops. Okay, now they're targeting themselves. Yeah, they definitely just fucked that up. That was really funny, though. We could very easily just like get completely fucked by the accidental targeting my face with that crab. What you got? Another therapy. Yeah, they just named Plow here. Tuning in. What's our record? 1-0. Game 3 at match 2 here. Alright, we draw a lane. We should be on easy street. Oh no, they get to... Oh, their name's Stoneforge. Alright. They can sack the crab to take the rip here, which they probably have to do at least. But then we get to keep 2 plows, which is like not nothing. And they didn't just annihilate my hand by naming Swords of Plowshares. Yeah, they're like pretty priced into naming Rest in Peace here anyway. Because if we do draw the land, they're just so fucking dead. Yeah. Names rip. We'll just draw surgical. Everything will be fine. I don't even know if surgical would get us out of this current predicament here. That was probably the worst draw in the whole deck. It's like Force of Virtue might have been. No, Force of Virtue is probably better. So if they like cast this other therapy, at least we can pitch one of the plows. This batters was like so bad. Doing some careful studying. Sure. Discard Hogak, Bloodghast. Those are scary cards. I have 2 cards in hand. Am I supposed to plow the Stitcher Supplier? The trigger on the stack? Yes, because it means that they can't cast the Gravecrawler even if they have a land drop to get the Bloodghast back, which lets them cast the Hogak. So yeah, we let this resolve. Trigger on the stack, we plow it. I guess how scared am I of them gacking? I'd like rather plow a gack, but I also want to get a plow in my hand ready. Like, we don't want to let them sack into this therapy either, so yeah, let's plow this for sure. Like, if they do end up therapy me and then also casting Hogak, then we get, like, super boned. Alright, let's just top deck Containment Priest here. Alright, not super helpful. At least it lets us top deck a Recruiter next turn now. Or the other Rest in Peace. Doing some more careful studying. Alright, alright. Discard Bridge, Bloodghast. Get back these Bloodghasts. I have to plow one of the Bloodghasts with the other one coming back. So we can't cast the Hogak. Otherwise, they could get back the Bloodghasts, sack one to therapy my swords out of my hand. I guess I could wait for... No, they have bridges, too. So they could already sack... They could actually already sack the other Bloodghast to the therapy, get a zombie, and then fetch, bring that Bloodghast back, and then cast the Hogak. So I think we just have to hope they don't cast the therapy so we can plow the Hogak. I think we just let this resolve. Obviously, if they sack cast the therapy, we'll just plow one of the Bloodghasts in response. Because they can't sack them both. Yeah. Now I can fetch, get the other Bloodghast back, cast the Hogak, and we are up shit creek. Names Container Priest, that tracks. Actually, it doesn't track, because I 100% would have activated the Vial. I wonder if I was actually supposed to bluff the Vial activation in response to the fetch land play, because then they would have maybe had to crack it in response to make sure they get the Bloodghast back, and then I could plow one. No, they can still get to the Hogak. No, they can't actually that turn. Yeah, that was actually probably the right call. Well, it's actually almost a good card. If we had one more land, we could get rid of this Hogak and stay above water. Now instead of we're just going to take 900... take 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so even if we draw land, we exactly die now. Now if they're just like hard casting a Vengevine here too, then we're, of course, super dead. Yep. Draw the Peacekeeper that isn't in our deck. Dang. definitely an awkward game. I'm only to 5 games, 2 and 3. Obviously, the game 2 hand was perfectly serviceable. Yeah. Mulligan decisions were not great for that game 3. Multiplows did end up being good, like they did hit things. I think I was supposed to keep them on instead of a plow, though. But my opponent had a pretty disruptive hand. Could have beaten a lot of the things that I was doing. Playing against Drizoth and Lupa. Interesting. I'm wondering if he counter-cued me like he did last time. It doesn't seem like he did. So he's probably playing either Storm or that Omni thing that he played. Probably not going to be happy though. Uh-oh. Maybe not. He says you're probably not going to be happy. It's not the garbage that he explicitly cued into me to play, the anti-Death and Taxes deck. But, I don't know. What am I not happy about? Because he was like playing elves for some reason. Anyway, this hand sucks, so we're just going to mulligan it. Wow, alright, this hand also sucks. He's also mulliganing at least. Alright, well, I'll keep this, ship the Force and a land. Definitely ship a land, and yeah, the Force just is not super efficient. Because we're casting the Mom on turn 1, which means we don't really have anything to pitch to the Force. If he is on elves or something, I mean, we're just fucked. But I think that's just our life. I think we're just keeping like a serviceable 5 in like the quote unquote blind. Force is just like not very useful when you're so down on cards. Waiting for basic forest, whatever. Oh, is he just like actual Belcher? He is on just actual Belcher. Nice. Let's put Cyber. Oh no, are we determined? It looks like we're deterministically dead here, right? Yeah, we're just gonna get belched, and he has the Taiga. Nice. Where's Cyrus when you need someone to tell you that D&T has a good Belcher matchup? Let's do our Belcher sideboarding, I guess. Surgical's probably worth it. Just things that actually cost 0 mana. Let's cut all these Squadron Hawks. This looks probably fine. Crusader is probably fine as a normally legitimate beater, because if we get into like the Empty the Warrens game, sometimes you can like Crusader up or equipment up a Crusader to try to like beat that. Micah telling me how he's gonna leave in his main deck Fail of Summers. Just so he can imprint them on Chrome boxes. But anyway, yeah, we're pretty boned. Very bad matchup as it turns out. I'm probably not supposed to put in Rip. Like, exactly hits Rite of Flame and Echo. And, like, I think we're just hard mulling until we have, like, turn 1, or turn 2 interaction, I think, is borderline keepable on the play. Because Force of Virtue actually does suck shit, so, like, maybe Recipes is better than Force of Virtue. If you survive the first 2 turns of the game, it's usually just, like, you just kind of, like, walk to the finish line from there. Yeah, let's do it. I think there's more odds that this Recipes does something than a Force of Virtue does. I'm supposed to mulligan say, never mind. I was about to laugh about how we're just gonna die again, but, like, I can't keep turn 3 Thalia. Like, have like, turn 2 Thalia. Or just, Deafening Silence. Alright, well, I'm gonna keep this and I'll die. He kept 7. Wait, hang on. He kept 7. Do we just, like, hard mull into Deafening Silence? Like, I'm not sure. Like, if we just mull, like, 3 and have a Deafening Silence, right, I'm not sure that Belcher can deal with that, right? Ugh. If your Belcher opponent just keeps 7 against Death and Taxes on the draw, how far am I supposed to go to try to find Deafening Silence? We get a lot of looks at it. And we just, like, die game 3, but whatever. I'm not inexperienced enough Belcher. I'm not experienced enough against Belcher to, like, impulse, like, make this judgment call, but I feel like I'm supposed to just hard mull. No, this is all garbage. Alright, let's go to... They don't mull, it could be Empty the Warren's Hand. We're not beating Empty the Warren's Hand either. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna... Yeah, my thought is exactly Deafening Silence. Alright, well, I'll keep 2 lands Thalia now that we're on 3 cards. Ding. 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 Yeah, we're super dead. Yeah, we are dying to 12 goblins. Or 14 goblins? Yeah. It's worth your immune to massacre, yeah. Alright. I think Stoneforge would have beaten that. Stoneforge, I think, isn't 14 the exact number that beats turn 2 Stoneforge when you're on the play? Or am I mistaken? It's 10 on the play, and I think it's 14 on the draw. But I'm not. I always forget Empty the Warren's math. Just a hard cast the land grant deal. Wait, hang on. We didn't go to lethal, right? Alright. Alright, moving on with our life. After Micah decided to rudely belch us. What a jerk. Yeah, I think if your Belcher opponent keeps 7 on, when they're on the draw, you're supposed to just, like, hard mulligan for Deafening Silence. You have, like, 2 in the deck. We're on the draw, which makes me not want to keep this hand as much, but it's certainly powerful if we resolve the Vial. We have a bunch of mana denial. How's the Belcher matchup? Cyrus tells me the Death and Tax is favored versus Belcher. Yeah, it's exactly 14. Yeah, I think Mom into Stoneforge beats 14 Goblins. Bloodstone is scary. Bloodstone could very much mean that we're just, like, dying here. Yeah, I have no idea what Cyrus is smoking, but every time I talk to him about Belcher versus Death and Taxes, he's like, I played, like, 500 matches with Belcher, and, like, Death and Taxes is actually favored versus Belcher. Just like everyone on the planet disagrees with it. Oh, we're just getting hemmed. Alright, this could be worse. Not the worst Hymnator rock in the world either. Wild. Just gonna pour it here. Sure. Strix online. If we rip a land, we get to, like, Wasteland Port and Thalia here, which is really good. Since our opponent is playing, like, Grixis Control from 1 year ago or something. I think I'm still probably supposed to port and put in, or, like, Thalia plus port here. Just try to manage them. And then we're going to get Plague Engineered and our life is going to be ruined, but that's what we signed up for. What a bully. What a jerk our opponent is. Echo Belcher is much more consistent. I'm not an expert in things related to Empty the Warrens. I'll defer to other Magic players. I'm going to leave this on 2 so we can actually do things. Do we want to, like, cast a GTA? GTA sucks here. But Batterskull also sucks. Mana Dial sucks. All of our options suck, so I think we just want a GTA. Getting Infinity for 1 by this... Infinity for 0 by this Plague Engineer. Life is Misery. We're going to leave the Vial on 2 for the next turn, too, so if we, like, draw a White Source, we can put in the other Stoneforge, then activate this one. Wow, just really aggressive Force of Will there. I'll take it. Didn't think that GTA was that threatening. That sucks. Take the other Stoneforge, I imagine? Yep, we'll take the Vial up to 3 now. Sure. What am I even supposed to do with this Wisp? Just, like, put it in and attack them until they don't block? Sure, yeah, why not? Name Elemental. My whole hand does nothing. Cool Beans. Gotta love Plague Engineer. Interesting and well-designed magic card. What are we doing here? Opponent didn't even like show us red lands, but I imagine that they're Grixis. It could technically be Bug, but I think all the Bug decks will just play Astrolabe because of its synergy with Oko. And they didn't have Snow Basics, which means they're not on Astrolabe, which makes me think that they're Grixis more than they are Bug. Could technically be straight blue-black, but I don't think that affects our boarding decisions like super heavily. That's probably makes it in. Shave plows. Shave things that have 1 toughness. Call it a day, or call it most of the day. We're 61 cards here still. Maybe we just shave most or all the plows. I guess without like Okos and stuff. Maybe it's just a traditional multiple. What do I bring in though if I board out this plow? I'll just keep in the Miser's Plow. How come no one cries about Engineered Plague? Slap on a creature and now it's considered bad design all of a sudden. Mostly because Plague Engineer is extremely more playable than Engineered Plague. It's kind of like asking why no one complains about Autumn Veil, but then everyone complained about Veil of Summer. Just because, like, when you make a card very much better than its past iteration, it becomes a lot more obnoxious to deal with. Like, no one is main decking Engineered Plagues and then attacking you with them and killing you. Also, Engineered Plague is symmetrical, I believe. So you can't just like play it in your Delver Mirrors and kill your opponent's Trinity Nemesis. Not super happy with this hand, but it'd be enough. Yeah, the Death Touch is really the cherry on top. You could like randomly trade with anything after you've like swept their team. Sure. We'll just port now. I was debating playing the GTA. I was probably gonna port anyway, unless they went like fetch land go. But no, we'll definitely just port. Put the Prelate on 1, I imagine. Yeah, Prelate seems more efficient here. I mean, like Stoneforge plus port or something the following turn. Okay, so they're Grixis. They can just like K-command me, sure. I'm gonna discard this Caracas. Probably should have played it over the plains. Wasn't considering this line. Oh, never mind. Got rewarded for playing the plains instead. Now we have 5 cards in hand. So many. Stoneforge for Batter Skull plus play GTA plus port them. Probably plus port them. Like, if they have removals over the Stoneforge, it sucks. But I don't think getting the GTA in play is huge anyway, because we're just going to be putting the Batter Skull next turn and not attacking. Sure. So, quick shuffle. Please don't kill my Stoneforge Mystic. Pretty please. Oh, Hammer to Turok. Oh, Bale Strikes. Whoa, that's way better. Fucking deal. Force of Virtue, not very helpful here. Certainly. We'll just pass. Port their volcanic, so they can't like shatter my skull. Might have to end up Council's Judgment, take up Baleful Strix to get out of the way for my Batter Skull. That's like super miserable to do. Oh, jeez. Jeez, just basic mountain too. Bleh. Opponent's deck composition is a little wild. Yeah, I'm gonna put in this Batter Skull. Just walk right into the second Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, let's force pitching Council's Judgment here. Saves the Stoneforge Mystic and lets us get the 1/1 Germ at least. So I think this is probably worth it. This Council's Judgment doesn't look like it's doing a lot in this current board state. And then we'll play equip the GTA to the Germ, attack with both, I guess. So phase 3 or 4 rounds. Oko at my weekly is getting a little quick. Yeah. It's one of those cards so far. Like, I don't think it's had enough time to sit and stew in Legacy yet. But it definitely feels like already like one of those cards, like True Name, where it's super obnoxious and not fun to play against at all. Just does not like create enjoyable play patterns, but might not be too broken for Legacy. But we'll see. It's definitely stronger than True Name, just in general. So it might have crossed that limit of like too good. Narset, sure. Narset grabbing K command, cool. I was thinking K command my Stoneforge. So I'm like upkeep, make me discard Shatter my GTA here. I'll get raised at their Strix, that's better. Ooh, that is a very good top deck. Holy shit. That is an incredible top deck. We take the Narset so I can't Impulse again. Let's go, my Squadron. Jesus Christ. That was a very good top deck. Suddenly puts us back into the game where my opponent has cast 3 Kolaghan's commands. My opponent's about to cast their 4th Kolaghan's command, kill 2 of my Squadron Hawks here. Like, discard Shaka Hawk. Squadron Hawk really keeping our head like even like marginally above water here though. Kind of surprised they didn't save this, like block with Snapcaster, target Kolaghan's command, buy back their Snapcaster or something. I don't know. Oh, they were afraid of me just like casting all my Hawks. That's reasonable. Like Gideon's essential for the sideboard? Certainly not. I'm actually just testing them today. I played Cataclysm for a long time. I think Cataclysm's still better, but I was trying them because Daryl did very well in the playoffs with them. Oh, that was a bad draw. If we attack both at face, they could kill this, but then they have to deal with Hawks. If they kill this, then they can't block my Stoneforge, so yeah, we can attack with both here. Send at face, because we only have 2 cards in our deck that actually draw cards at this point. Probably start sitting on a land in my hand to discard the fucking 4th Kolaghan's Command that gets cast this game. Play Sarah the Benevolent instead. We'd probably play Elspeth before Sarah. Bouncing their Snapcaster Mage. Alright, so we're killing all my Hawks with the Snapcaster Mage and casting 5 Kolaghan's Commands. Sure. That's why we kept the planes in hand. So at least we don't get this happen. This doesn't have no upkeep. Or our draw stuff, not upkeep. So we like discard a real card. They could buy back the Strix instead of making us discard. Probably not an unreasonable line, but we only have 1 card in hand. It's so tempting. Come on. Come on, you know you want to. Just make me discard. Don't buy back your Strix. Don't be a jerk like that, opponent. Buyback Strix is like so much better of a play. Oh, they're not even killing my Hawk, they're just making me discard a card. Alright, this is fine. Because we just discard this useless planes. Now they have the Strix to kill my Hawk. They're still at 14. At least they're going to 10 here. We need to draw like exactly Gideon here to have some semblance of a shot at winning still. That's not useful. I guess drawing Sword of Fire and Ice would have been pretty good there too. Not really equipment left. We could have hit him for a lot, and it like attacks through Strix. Start porting these red sources. Baleful Strix to block my last Hawk here. I need to draw a Sword of Fire and Ice here to have a shot. Recruiter of the Guard might do it too. Like we get to recruit for Flicker Wisp. Recruiter of the Guard. Gideon. I guess that's not actually that bad. Because we have Force of Virtue, which counters the Plague at least. Recruiter of the Guard, Gideon, Crusader, yeah, now we're talking. They burned their Lightning Bolt on my Stoneforge too. Not going to attack into here, I don't think. Don't think there's a reason to offer that trade right now. There's no real rhyme or reason to what we're porting here. They have infinity mana. Oh, Snap Bolt the Crusader. Attack me for like 5, or probably only 4. Attack with Baleful Strix seems ambitious here. Yeah. Not attack with the Engineer is kind of weird, because I don't think the Engineer's doing a whole lot, but I'll take it, certainly. Trade the Hawk, 1 less flyer to harass Gideon. I think the Hawk is pretty important. If we draw this Stoneforge Mystic to put sort of Fire and Ice on something, then it's pretty good. Unfortunately, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, so we can't actually do all that. But I think it's safer in play than in my hand, because it's not like we're protecting it from a K command if it's in our hand. So I think we just tap, like, just cast Stoneforge, cast Sword, say go. What are the odds they have another Snapcaster? I mean, they're probably just gonna like draw Jace minus on their Snapcaster Mage. Snapcaster Mage, Kolaghan's Command, kill my Hawk, and shatter my Sword of Fire and Ice. The way this game has been going. I'm just trying to race here. It's only 7. Wait, I just have lethal now, right? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, no, I'm 1 off. Yeah, I can't block. Oh, I can properly block a Snapcaster Mage, right? Is that free? Is there something I get punished by eating a Snapcaster Mage here? Like, another Coolgon's Command is already just, like, fucking putting me in the goddamn ground. Right? Another Engineer. Yeah, that kind of punishes me, but, like, we can still get in with our Hawk. Gut shot. Alright, I'm blocking. Just because you said gut shot. This block does kind of feel like second engineer, but I don't know, it's just free. Cool. So now we can equip the sword to the Stoneforge and attack with Bolt. Oh no, then we can potentially lose our Hawk to the Strix though, which I'm pretty sure this Hawk is important because it doesn't get blocked by the Plague Engineer. So I think it's still just equip Hawk attack with just the Hawk. And then shock their face, probably. We could shock the Plague Engineer, potentially. If they draw removal for the Squadron Hawk, but not for the sword. I guess I should attack first and figure out what my plan is. Like, connecting with Hawk holding a sword is already going to kill them next turn anyway. So they would have to draw, like, a Fatal Push or something to be able to kill the Hawk. Although, if that's the case, then I'm not killing them outright. Take the Engineer. Look, the issue is my Stoneforge can't attack into these Baleful Strix anyway, right? But, like, what is putting them to 3 doing versus keeping them at 5? If they draw a Shatter from my Sword of Fire and Ice, then they can't. I don't know. I think I'm just dying if they hit anything. Kill Snap, so they have... Oh, yeah, they could... If they draw Jace, unsummon Snapcaster Mage K command, then we die. So maybe killing the Snap is actually correct. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Engineer going on Squadron Hawk, going on Bird still kills them because that's 3+2. Yeah, I do kind of like that, actually. Kill the other Snap. Although we're porting them twice, so they actually can't do that line, but whatever. They could do that line and get to a Fatal Push at the end. God, I hope we fucking win this game. Yes! Yes! Eat it! Eat it, Grixis! Fucking eat it! That was 5 Kolgon's commands. Fucking, like, 3 Snapcaster Mages. I guess that doesn't really count because 2 of them were Kolgon's commands. Like, 4 Baleful Strix-ish? Squadron Hawk Van win. God, that was good. The snap, the 2 lightning bolts, the lightning bolt to kill the Crusader, just... Oh, man, really, just fucking taste that. I see we're playing Lost or playing Basic Mountain. Man, that was good. That felt great. That brings my spirits back. I don't even care if we lose this match. That game brought my spirits up after, getting demolished by Belcher. Yeah, now we just gotta do it again on the draw. Squadron Hawk, real fucking good Magic card in these grindy matchups. Like, I'm pretty sure if the current state of the metagame is like these grindy ass blue decks, then you're fucking casting Squadron Hawks. Like, it is a legitimate strategy. Do we want to change our sideboarding plan at all? I don't think so. I think all this stuff is fine. We have the Miser Source Supply of Shares, which would probably be something else, but especially on the draw, I'm not a fan of like the Thalias and other runes definitely have more diminishing returns. in the face of a pile of Plague Engineers. I think one removal spell is like reasonably well served. Yeah, I should go post on Twitter. Beat 5 Kolaghan's commands. AMA. Grixis lost because they didn't cast Oko. Yeah, if they had cast 5 Okos, I might have not won that game. Probably because we couldn't have beat the first, like, 3. Sounds a little bit awkward. Double Vial and everything. I think it's a keep, though. Got some powerful tools. Thalia plus Caracas. Potentially Force of Virtue. Just Thoughtseize me. Oh, well, this sucks. Sounds like just leave the extra Vial. Take Methalia. Or take the Stoneforge if they have, like, a Plague Engineer. There's potential for this Force of Virtue to be able to help us beat Plague Engineers, especially if we find, like, a Hawk. Alright, cool. Not a bad draw. I think I'm supposed to play out the second Vial next turn. We're just going to, like, him to Taroct. Just Baleful Strix. Let's see what we draw. If we top deck, like, a something castable, then maybe not. It's not something castable. Helps us play this Council's Judgment next turn, which is pretty nice. I think I want 2 Vials and play more than I would want a Naked Stoneforge Mystic here. I have 5 cards in hand. I think I just want the accessibility of multiple Aether Vials. Anything I would Council's Judgment here? Probably not. So I have some like wild ass Planeswalker. I might just Council's Judgment this Plague Engineer actually. It's like good enough. Leave a name here, just human anyway. They know I have the Stoneforge Mystic, but yeah, that's not unreasonable. They also don't have this Force of Virtue. But the Force of Virtue is certainly a lot worse here. Until we find a pile of white cards to actually pitch into it. Like we draw Squadron Hawk. Oh, that's bad. Probably just supposed to kill this Engineer. Could just be like bait and I'm just gonna cast a Jace next turn and just fuck me up. But I think our mana is a little bit tied up. They know of the Stoneforge, though, so... Well, not Jace, at least. Which means that our mana isn't necessarily tied up, because our Stoneforge can easily just, like, beef it on our end step when we put it in here. But we also just, like, grab Sword of Fire and Ice. Time for the second Engineer. Narset. Set and Strix, sure. Leave up Bolt. Ooh, we actually get something here. Don't think we get anything relevant unless I really want to grab Batterskull in the face of these 2 Baleful Strix, which seems kind of miserable. Batterskull just seems obscenely clunky to actually get going with. So I might just want Sword anyway. Hope to draw a Wasteland for this Volcanic Island. Sword just lines up much better against these Baleful Strixes. We draw a Squadron Hawk anytime, though. That'd be pretty chill. That's less chill, certainly. Just pass the turn here. We could just spend 4 mana and suit up the Stoneforge Mystic right now. That doesn't protect against anything but, like, exactly Lightning Bolt, though. Like, they can't Jace and bounce it because we have these Vials, so... I guess it protects it from, like, that Tyrant's Scorn. But... I think we're just passing. And then getting horribly bodied by this Kolaghan's command that they definitely have. That we can't even, like, Force a Virtue to save our Stoneforge. Because we don't have a white They don't know that, though. So maybe they play around it by, like, making me discard or something. They probably don't. Ooh, they do play around it. Nice. So I get to keep my Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, I was supposed to discard the Karakas, not the Vial. I don't think it really matters, because those cards both suck, but... I'm gonna cast the Force Air instead of opening up to command. I don't think just hard casting Force Air is very good. Maybe I'm wrong. Like Lotus Pedaling on my Karakas to Force of Virtue. My hand is like Sword Aether Vial. Opens up like Hymn to Turok and stuff too. Now I'll probably just cast Force. It's probably better than Wastelanding here. We can't cut them off. We can cut them off double black. That's about it. I think we just want to get in damage. Spend our mana while we can. Punch. Dang. Well, we got some good draw steps. We got 2 Vials. We got Gideons in our deck, Recruiter, Squadron Hawks. We got some draw steps. That's not one of them. We'll wasteland the double black here. Okay, command. Deal. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, shatter my Vial and destroy an artifact, or shatter my Vial, make me discard this Karakas, sure. On board with that. We're going to leave this in our hand to protect against more K commands. Of course, Jace immediately shows up. They bottomed it, so we can top deck Squadron Hawk here. God, if only we had Mirror Crusader. Nice. Gotta leave things in our hand because our opponent did bottom on that Jace, so they didn't know what we're drawing. Now they topped it, yeah, we're fucked. Sure, Plague Engineer. Yeah, now we're pretty much completely dead. Yeah, nice. We need them to, like, bottom a Mirroring Crusader, and then we top deck Squadron Hawk, and then... Yeah, if they keep topping, we're super dead. Nice. Alright, they bottomed. Sliver of Hope. Snap. What are they gonna do? Just K-command me? They know I have a card to discard. This doesn't seem like a very effective K-command. They're just trying to set up lethal. Alright, if we top deck... Oh, they're shattering the Vial too. The Miser's Plow! I mean, for any card in my sideboard, we still lose. By like a huge landslide. Dang. Alright, that game 2 is still worth it though, even though we're getting like super crushed. We beat 5 Kolaghan's commands. We got the moral victory. In 2018, Grixis Control is probably still one of your worst matchups in Legacy as Death and Taxes. Outside of like Elves and Belcher. What was our other loss today? Something. What did we lose to? Ramuth. Oh, it was Hogak, yeah. I really do feel like the graveyard decks are just like a lot bigger right now, and that Texas needs to respect them. But maybe you just need to dodge them? I don't know. Tough calls, to be sure. What time is it? 11? Yeah. About time for sleeping. That's for sure. Got one more round here. Finish it out. There we go. Let us play our last match here. And it is decent. We'll keep. Put almost 6. What you got, opponent? Savannah Maverick. Where's my opponent's card images? I'm gonna leave a plow and not play it here. Plowing the Mana Dork against, although my opponent did mold a 6. I don't know. I almost never like plowing Maverick's Mana Dorks. They just like don't actually have that many like big impactful creatures. So you usually want to just try to run them out of resources instead. If you like plow their Mana Dork and then they just cast their Knight of the Reliquary on turn 3 or whatever, then it's usually like pretty shitty for you. Like if they just like play a Knight here or something, then we get to plow the Knight instead. And then untap and cast our Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, nice. More plows. And we get to go Stoneforge for our GT. Maverick's been doing, like, weirdly well this whole year. Like, there are, like, 4 or 5 people that qualified for the championships that qualified with Maverick. Please, no Palace Jailer. Oh, thank God, just a Questing Beast. It's so much easier to beat. This is fine. Oh, deal. Yeah. We get to put in this GT and plow this Questing Beast if we need to. That was supposed to be on my bird tag. Ah, fair. Yeah. Squawks also. Squawks was a very, like, very meta call deck that was pretty flash in the pan. I think the meta might be swinging back in Squawks' favor. Sure, certainly. I think we're just going to play land, say go here. We probably have to plow this Questing Beast, though, so we probably don't wait until... like, we're not going to, like, wait until end step and, like, take another 4 here. Because we're going to have to get this Questing Beast out of the way to attack their GT regardless. So we're just going to plow this thing anyway. Die. What you got? Another coder? Got like a plow here that's a rough one. Yeah, I think I just have to play like they don't have a plow. And if they plow my Stoneforge, at least we can deploy another Stoneforge after that. And if they don't, then they can't block here. Because then I use the 2 counters to kill it, so we can at least like use these counters to try to manage their board state and stuff. So let's attempt this at least. Nice. And the real question is, are we supposed to kill this Bird of Paradise? I don't think we are. I think we can just play our other Stoneforge and say go. We want to try to build up counters to like try to like keep up with this knight or manage like actual relevant cards. They have plenty of mana because they have the ability to like knight their lands away for other things too. So I think we're fine just deploying second Stoneforge and grabbing Batterskull, I guess. We want like big beefy things to try to brawl. This green sun for 3. Get like a Knight of Autumn, shatter my GT. That sucks. No. At least if they just shatter my GT, we're still in like a reasonable position. We have like Recruiter and Flyers. As long as they're not equipmenting me. They're trying to do here. Greenson for 2, get Quasali. That's what it looks like now. Yeah. Resolves. We'll just kill the bird to gain 2 life. That's a reason to kill the bird. They did miss a land drop, notably. Although they could have just done this anyway, because they could have like knighted away a land, so it's not a huge deal. We want to draw a mana source here, so we can like cast Recruiter or Wisp in addition to the Batterskull. We got here a Noble. Ooh, 2-drop, please not Stoneforge. Oh, thank God, just Thalia. Ooh, and a land. This is all good for me. I think I just want to Flicker Wisp my Stoneforge Mystic and then put in like the Batterskull, because then we go get Sword and we have a Flyer in play to put the Sword on, which seems like a pretty decent way of trying to raise this board state. We could also just put in the Sword next turn if we want to. We get to decide, so. As long as they don't find a Stoneforge Mystic, we're in okay shape. You know, like Knight for a Canopy, I imagine. Just to draw more cards because they're hellbent. Yep. Goes up to a 3/3, so we can actually just put in the Batterskull here. This deck seems ambitious. I guess they can just Krog us back to Thalia, but then it's off the board. Yeah, sure. Sure. Oh, geez, Crusader. That's a good one to draw, too. So now we get to cast Crusader, put in... We could just get Sword Triggers, though. It might actually be better. How much damage could we deal? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They have Thalia to actually chump block my Mirren Crusader. They'd only be able to do it like once because we can wasteland their Caracas, but I think by that time they would actually just be dead from the board. So maybe we do just spend our turn sorting. Because we just want to kill them as fast as possible before they find their equipment. Yeah, I'll play a while. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're 2 off lethal if we like suit up the germ onto the skull. Knight away that. We got a second canopy maybe? Some other utility land? Yeah. Sure. Means this knight isn't punching us. Nice. Got there. Alright. Gideon's maybe okay. Let's see what we have to cut first. All the Thalias and the Prelate are easy cuts, and all these are easy board ins. Then we're at 60, but we can look at all these other options here. Gideon's and Containment Priest versus the cards that we currently have in deck. I think the cards in deck are pretty good. Force of Virtue, probably not great. Unless they're on the Black Splash, and like they have Plague Engineers or something. In which case I would maybe be more inclined to want it. I like Containment Priest a fair amount in this matchup. Turning off Green Suns and turning your Flicker Wisps into hard removal spells. I think this is fine. I think we might leave out the Gideons. Why no Cataclysms on the sideboard? I was trying out Daryl Ayers' plan of play Gideons instead of Cataclysms. After talking with Phil a little bit. It's decent. I wanted to try out their game plan that they concocted to try to fight the Oko decks. I have not drawn any Gideons today, though, so... I'm a big Cataclysm fanboy, and I'm not a big fan of Gideon, but I'm open to trying new things. We'll just play our mom here. If they kill my mom, we can always needle theirs. Sunning for 0 here? I feel like they would have done that last turn. Can't be, seems like it's their only colored mana source here. Yeah, okay, that tracks. And there's just a bird, sure. Yeah, mana now doesn't look like it's on the table. I was a little hopeful when Canopy was their only land that we could potentially try to mana deny them, but Guy's Grill means that just definitely not a plan here. So we're 2 turns away from connecting with this GTA regardless of what our play looks like. Problem is that they have 2 colors of blockers. So we actually couldn't even, if we played the Stoneforge Mystic, we couldn't even like pro-white the Stoneforge Mystic attack them or whatever because they have the Birds of Paradise as a blocker too. So we might actually just need to play the Squadron Hawk. So they only have 1 color of blocker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only draw 2 cards here. Leave the last one in the deck to inevitably top deck. I shouldn't have 6. They have a mana up, and we have an active mom, but they definitely would have plowed mine. So next turn can be something like Needle plus Jite, if we want that route. I think my mom might be more important than theirs, though. If our plan is to get this GTA to connect. This is just Coder. Yeah, it's certainly scary. It's certainly scary. We could needle the Coder. If we just play out they have 3 cards in hand. If we just like run out our Jite here, they can They'd have to have another land to like actually use their Knight of the Reliquary to go get like another wasteland and then wasteland me. And then after that, we could still go land, equip GTA to Hawk, give it pro green if the Birds of Paradise is untapped, and hit them. And that lets us like deal with their mom and their mana dork, and then hopefully that lets us take over. So I think deploying the GTA here is a fine move. So we can attack for 1, because it's pretty free here. I have the land here, so if they want to try to keep me off of GTA mana, they can. You could also, if they just have like a green sun or something, they can just shatter my GTA, make me sad. Or just natural Knight of Autumn. Sure. Shatter my GTA, make me sad. Green sun for 3 here. I don't even know what this is. Just like another Knight. Just more beef. They just got like another Knight and then Savannah into Wasteland, like Wasteland my port. They just have a bunch of colossal things. It's not unreasonable either. And they Wasteland me here. Things aren't looking good for us. They have 1 card in hand. We could potentially, like, Wasteland their Cradle and Pithing Needle this Knight of the Reliquary, put them on 2 mana sources. I mean, we kind of have to play this Needle anyway, because otherwise this Knight is just going to bury us. So maybe we do just Wasteland them, since we're casting a 2-drop the next turn. So maybe we just Wasteland them to cut them off of having 9,000 mana. Reliquary. Problem is that they can just, like, they gotta proactively mom their Knight and just hit me with a big Knight. Ooh, they also just hit a land drop, which is not good, because that just lets them start chaining these clues off. I guess they already had the 2 mana to start chaining clues, but... those are scary cards. Alright. I feel like we are very much dead this game. But you never know. Something wild may happen. They might actually tap their Mother of Runes at some point. We draw like a Plow. We draw Council's Judgment. Potentially kill one of their fatties through their Mother of Runes here. Oh dear, yeah, we're just gonna get ranched. Yeah, we super dead. Certainly got us. Gideon's a weird card in like these awkward like Wasteland Rashadenport-y type of mirrors. Because like sometimes if you just hit a bunch of land drops and it gets really grindy, Gideon's really good, but sometimes you just also throw a bunch of Wasteland stuff at each other and like Gideon is just a real big liability. Definitely has moments where it's good and moments where it's like really clunky, so I'm not a huge fan of boarding it in. Probably better from the Maverick side because they have access to more mana, but even like the Death Taxes mirror, some people like to bring in Gideon, and I have not liked it too much. It might just still be better than like a Force of Virtue, though. Force of Virtue is not super helpful. It sometimes tries to help you like win aerial combat or like just try to like race a little bit better, but maybe Gideon's just better than Force of Virtue in this matchup if they're not playing black. Because there are those games where you can just get into that grindy fight. Ugh, this hand is unkeepable. Well, this hand's playable. We'll put a Wasteland at the bottom. Do one of these take the beatdown roll in general? It does depend on the game itself. Definitely like pretty game dependent. It's like kind of a pseudo mirror. Maverick has a lot of like Death and Taxes. I think has like more grinding tools. Maverick has a lot of just like big heavy hitters. It's like Maverick does on average try to like end the game. Maverick is also better at like answering what Death and Taxes is doing though. They have like a more robust toolbox with like Green Sun Zeniths and green cards in general. This Gideon. Well, this Force of Virtue would also be very bad. Let's cast our Stoneforge Mystic. Go get the GTA. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of back and forth. They kept in Thalias, of course they did. Because why wouldn't they? God, some people just have no respect for the Thalia mirrors. You're supposed to board out all your Thalias, and it's like not close at all. This Thalia is just gonna like brick wall me though. It prevents me from activating my GTA next turn because it's got first strike. We can just get the sword online though. Sword attacks through Thalia, so I think I just like wastelanding them. Wasteland doesn't really help us cast any of our stuff here, so. Oof. That's... Oh, maybe not a punish. No, no, don't wasteland me. Fuck off. Dang, they're definitely gonna wasteland me. This sucks. We'll put this in on the off chance we draw land. Yeah, shocker. Dicks. Don't hit a land drop. Oh, that's barely a land drop. Land. Dicks. Wow, never lucky, huh? Yep, played Giant Knight. We're 900 land drops away from doing anything. Right on time. Would have loved to have drawn this last turn. Now it does Stone Cold nothing. We'll get the GTA in play and not equip here. So we want to draw like another white source to play our Crusader or our Wisp or something. And just suit it up instead. But now we're just going to get buried by this Knight. Because we can't kill it. Another Knight, sure. So let's just obviously play green. That's what the cool kids do nowadays. Just splash green Death and Taxes for Veil of Summer. I don't see why not. Not sure about who in this matchup. Gideon? Yeah, I was talking about it when we were sideboarding into game 3. Where it's not great, but I think it is better than, like, Force of whatever. One's got a lot of big knights. Yeah, opponent having the opposite problem of not having enough cards to board in, leaving in Thalias. As if Thalia's not like the automatic 4 first cuts out of your deck. Needle. Well, we can needle Knight of the Reliquary to stem some amount of the bleeding. I wouldn't say that D&T is really strong versus Maverick. I think you're on average you're unfavored, but I think versus like the average Maverick opponent, I feel usually fine. Like you just can like make better decisions than them, and then decisions can matter oftentimes in games like this, or not like this, but in a lot of matches like this. Yeah, we kind of have to needle Knight of the Reliquary. Oh yeah, it's cost 2. Yeah, we have to needle Knight of the Reliquary. Sure. Get like Guy's Cradle probably. Yeah. It's always just a feel bad. One of my least favorite things as someone who plays Death Attacks for a long time is like sometimes you'll just like lose games to people that like leave in their Thalias, and it's the worst. I personally just like hate losing to bad sideboard plan, or not losing because of this Thalia, which just makes me feel better. Cool. Now we're super dead. Yeah, let's pack this one in. But when you lose specifically because of bad sideboarding decisions, that's like one of the biggest tilts for me as a player. Yeah, we're horrendously dead here. Even if we draw White Source, we can't cast Council's Judgment. Yeah, we're not drawing anything. Alright. Pack it in. The old 1 and 4. Definitely had some spots of bad luck, though. And also we played against Belcher. But life happens. Anyhow, let's find someone to host. Ah, nice. People actually playing Legacy this time. You actually playing Legacy? I don't see anything here. What do you... This isn't a Legacy. The hell is this? Alright, let's try this next person. Epic Things MTG. I've never heard of them. Oh, this is our opponent. I think. What's their... Yeah, this is our opponent. Ramuth. Yeah, alright, let's go host him. Nice. Anyway, /host Ramuth. As always, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you had a good time, even if we got totally wrecked. We did beat a game where our opponent cast 5 Kolaghan's commands, so that was kind of worth the whole league, honestly. I do think that Squadron Hawk has potential, specifically like citing that game exactly. Like Squadron Hawk is really good against the grindy decks, and I think that's a big deal right now in current Legacy. So definitely looking into trying out this strategy more in the future. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow with some more Legacy action, and I'll see you guys all later. Oh, no, I typed /host Ramuth, but that's their moto name. It's Epic Things MTG. All right. Anyway, now see you guys all.